You know, over the course of the years, I've seen quite a few people who have really wanted to make changes in their life, and they were very serious about doing that. But there was something holding them back, and they just could not figure out why they were not making the changes. Now, if you happen to be one of these people, you might want to stick around today because we're going to be talking about that on this episode of Common Sense Therapy. Hi, everybody. Dr. Phil Carricker here for Common Sense Therapy. And before we get going, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button down below. And you might want to subscribe if you haven't already, just to keep informed of new videos that I come out. When you hit the bell, the notification will do that for you as well. Now, like I said, a lot of people that I've seen over the years really wanted to make changes. They would come in and I remember one person told me, I want to make changes, but change is scary. And people don't really understand why it's so scary. And it could be several reasons why you're not making the changes you want to make. Number one is you might be afraid of failure, or you might even be afraid of success. Another reason could be that you don't feel as though you deserve anything better than what you have. But another reason could be, and this is the one we're going to talk about today, is that you are not comfortable with change because change is not predictable. You may not be comfortable with the way your life is now, but at least you can predict how it's going to turn out. And even though it's uncomfortable, it's not as painful as not knowing. In other words, the fear of the unknown. Now, once again, I've always said if you want something different, you have to do something different. And that's very true. But people are afraid to do something different because they don't know how it's going to turn out. They don't know what their life is going to look like. They think that they can't project no matter how much visualization they've done. They can't see the future. They can't figure out how it's going to look for them. And these are the people I'm really referring to today. I'm talking to you specifically. If you are the type of person that actually has trouble visualizing your goals and walking them through in your head before you start doing them, I'm going to offer you a suggestion. This is something that I have encouraged many people to do over the years, and for a lot of people it works for them. Now, I will be honest with you that some of them just are too afraid to even attempt to do this. What I want to tell you is, yes, you are uncomfortable in your own skin right now. And yes, you don't like the way you feel. And you know exactly how to do what you do right now. You know how you are and what you need to do in order to stay the way you are. So this is what I'm going to recommend. For the next 90 days, I want you to do something different that you've never done before. And nothing big, mind you, something very little. Like, for example, if you have difficulty getting out of your chair, in other words, knowing that you want to go doing something, but you just can't get off your butt and do it. What I'm going to recommend is for the next 90 days, you find one thing to do and go do it. Don't criticize yourself for not doing it, because that's just going to make you feel worse about yourself and keep you stuck even more. Just go ahead and do it. And every day find something different to do. Regardless of whether you like it or not, just go do it. That's all I'm asking. For 90 days, do this. And if you don't like the changes that you've made or the way that you feel, then you've got the way you are right now down to a fine art. You're more than welcome to go back to doing it the way you used to do it, or the way you're doing it now. See, that's the whole thing about it. we don't realize that we're the ones that are in charge of our lives. So if we want to do something different, but we don't know how it's going to look, the only way we're going to find out is to do it. Now, once again, well, what if I fail? This is what I want you to consider. I don't consider making any changes with the end result not being what you want it to be a failure, because you have made change. Regardless of the outcome, you have done something different. So to me, in my mind, that's a success. The only failure that I see as a failure is to not do anything at all, regardless of the outcome. Just to sit there and being comfortably uncomfortable in your own skin is a failure. It's familiar, but it's still a failure. So don't look at the outcome of what you're doing. Look at the destination of what you're doing. In other words, look at the fact that you're doing it differently. You're doing something different that you've not done in a long time, or you may never have done. And that's the success right there. Not whether you enjoyed it or not, or whether you thought differently. That's not the point. You may not automatically start thinking differently or feeling differently, because this is awkward. As a matter of fact, you might feel a little bit worse because it is different, and change is difficult for everybody. I don't care who it is. We all have difficulty with change. In order for us to grow and do something different in our lives, we have to make changes. We just have to. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do, just for 90 days. That's all. And if 90 days seems like too much, make it 60. And if 60 days is too much, make it 30. But whatever you do, make the change one day a week and repeat it over and over and over again. Don't just give it up. It's like I tell people, if you don't like the restaurant, give it a couple of chances before you make a determination. One time, you might be nervous. The second time you go to the restaurant may be nervous, or the cook may be in a mood or whatever. Give it at least 3 chances. So give this at least 30 days. 90 would be preferable, because you have to get into a habit. But make the change. So this is where we're going to end it for today. If you have any comments about how you have made changes in your life, or what might be holding you back, please put them down in the comments section and let us know. You might be able to help somebody else while you're doing the growth period yourself. So let's close it out for today, and we'll be talking more about this in upcoming weeks. So in the meantime, stay committed, stay true to yourself, and make the change. Remember, if you want something different, you have to do something different. So go ahead and do it for yourself, okay? All right, we'll talk again soon. Take care now.